This video is sponsored by you, and Zenless ZZZero, again, and by this gal who really wants to be in a video. Hello there, Arknights' most hated YouTuber here, once again not making a video about Arknights. First and foremost, did you know they just gave 10 event banner pools for free?
This party's getting crazy. Let's rock.
Go download the game right now! So, you wanna learn how to use LNGO? Well, I can share that arcane knowledge with you, but before we get into the specific characteristics of this character, I'm gonna tell you how the base game works, as it just released and I don't trust UN players to be already caught up with everything. So clearly you need Daddy SUPAH to explain it to you. If you're a big boy with a big brain, feel free to skip this section using the video chapters. First, here's an item infographic in case you play Genshin or Star Rail. On the left are the items for those games, and on the right is their closest equivalent in ZZZero. I know it can be rough to get accustomed to a whole mountain of wacky and quirky new items every time you start a new game. So here. Agents have a lot of different stats. HP, attack, defense, impact, which is how easily they stun enemies, crit rate, crit damage, pen, which is a built-in defense ignore, pen ratio, which is how much defense they ignore in percentage, anomaly mastery, which affects how much you build up elemental damage, anomaly proficiency, which enhances the damage from elemental effects, energy regen, which increases the passive energy regenerated per second, and finally energy generation rate, which increases the energy increased by attacking. Outside of all that stuff, every character also has an element and a fighting style. These are all the elements, and these are all the fighting styles. Regarding our resident Sharkmaid, these are her stats at optimal level. She's an ice attribute attack fighting style agent, or in other words, an ice DPS. It's really not that hard. Meaning she can inflict freeze and frostbite. Freeze, well, freezes the enemies and triggers shatter at the end, dealing more ice damage. Frostbite increases the crit damage taken by enemies. Put a pin in that, it's important. Getting into her actual kit, Ellen has a unique mechanic called Flash Freeze. Some of her moves gain Flash Freeze charge points, those being her EX specials Tail Swipe and Sharknado, and her dash attack Arctic Ambush. It is important to note you can only use Arctic Ambush while in the roaming state, entered by holding the dodge button or pressing it twice. When Ellen has Flash Freeze charge points, she enters a state called Flash Freeze. This will change some of her moves to deal massive ice damage, namely her basic attack and dash attack. However, this will consume the Flash Freeze charge points. The gameplay loop for LNGO should now be evident even to someone like you. Build up Flash Freeze by using her EX specials and dash attack while in the roaming state. Next, spend those Flash Freeze charge points through her basic attacks and then repeat. Throw in some chain attacks and some ultimates just for good measure. Moving on to her passives, the short of it is that they incentivize the gameplay loop I described by buffing her crit damage, which also synergizes with Frostbite, and that she deals more ice damage when other ice agents or Victoria housekeeping agents are in the squad. But I'm sure you're tired of hearing me yap about how she works by now. Let's move on to how you should be building her. Her best W engine is Deep Sea Visitor. Obviously, you know they're both sharks. What it does is increase her ice damage, increase her crit rate when hitting basic attacks, and increase her crit rate even more when dealing ice damage through dash attacks, which does stack with the other crit rate increase. This synergizes with her passive, increasing her crit damage and the frostbite anomaly. For her disc drives, you have many options. You could run a 4-piece set of Woodpecker Electro, buffing her crit damage, and we established that's a good thing. You could also run a 4-piece set of Puffer Electro, increasing her pen ratio and ultimate damage, and buffing her when using said ultimate. Or you could even use a 4-piece set of Polar Metal, though I don't really recommend this. Either go for Woodpecker Electro with a 2-piece set of Puffer, or Puffer Electro with a 2-piece set of Woodpecker. For the stats, you want crit rate or crit damage on disc 4, ice damage or pen ratio on disc 5, and attack or anomaly rate on disc 6. Her best substats are, say it with me, crit rate and crit damage. Alternatively, attack and pen are also good. For her team composition, we don't have much to work with at launch, but there is a very clear, obvious best team, that being Lycaon and Sukaku. The Smurfette-looking ass will provide Ellen with a gigantic buff, and the Fury will debuff the enemies, allowing Ellen to just delete everything on the screen. Alternatively, you can run her with someone from Victoria Housekeeping. The best option would probably be Rina, which is also the name of one of my better friends. I can't escape her even in this game. Or Corin, or Ben, I don't know, even Lucy if you're feeling wacky. All in all, Ellen Jo is an extremely powerful character, leagues above everyone else currently in the game. Should you roll? Definitely. Even if you don't have her best team, at least Sukaku is free, and in that third slot you can put pretty much anybody. You have Corin at least. And essentially, that's all you need to know about Ellen Jo and how to play / build her. That's all I had to say. Max out your Lucy or your Corin, but you're gonna need to download the game to do that, you know? Bye! Hello, welcome to the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and thank you to the members and Patreons on screen right now. In particular, Mark Reguera, Zefferini X, The Crazy Lord, Nuta Koyaki, Noobpo, Lord Takeo, Gutod Leon, Maxio Says, Chromechan but JJF, and finally Zenless Zone 0. With that said, I'm gonna go goon to Grace's feet.
One after the other, over and over again, I wish a new pendulum. My left hand can't reach like that through the wall, but I can't find with access to the black hole.